great day, attractive thinker. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your identity coach and get to the root specialist at theattractivethinker.guru. I am delighted. I see y'all out there. Attractive thinkers and visual encouragers. We are so excited to meet these new faces and see these new comments. We are so excited that you're connecting to this global movement because it is fantastic and amazing that you're getting the resources that you need to live your life beyond the break. Welcome my co-host Tichet Bradshaw to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance.
Happy Mindset Monday, everybody. We made it. We made it to win, and we're going to win again and again. We get to do what we've never did, go where we've never gone, and have all that we deserve to have. It is such an amazing day to be alive.
It is a fantastic and amazing day to be alive, attractive thinker. I know you know that. I'm sure that you have your attractive thinker notebook handy and your pen. And I want to remind you to review your notes after these episodes and all week long, because the real work, the real revelation, the real breakthrough, the real success happens after this message, because that's when you step back into life and you begin to apply what you've heard on this episode. It comes back to you when you need it the most. We know how this works. So I celebrate you, attractive thinker. I want to encourage you to click the like button on our YouTube channel, subscribe so you don't miss any of these episodes. Share, click that share button and share these messages with your circle of influence, because if it's blessing you, it will definitely make a difference in their life as well. And comment below. Let us know what you're getting from these episodes and any topics that you would like to hear us discuss, because all we need is a topic and the flow just takes on a shape of its own and you end up getting exactly what it is that you need. Today, we're going to be talking about who am I now on the other side of this. You've made it to the other side of this, being it voluntarily or involuntarily, meaning you were forced. A defining moment pushes you into a new identity. It pushes you into a new life, a new way of showing up, a new way of being and doing things. It's not voluntary. It's involuntary. You had nothing to do with it. Your will wasn't even involved. You just woke up one day, you stepped into a defining moment, and there it is. Or a decision was made, or an experience, something happened, and before you know it, like Dorothy and the Wiz, you've landed in a whole new world. So who are you now on the other side of this? You can't reach the other side of this and your identity not shift. That's impossible. You can't land in a new place and have the old identity, because when you land in a new place, everything is new. You don't recognize anything. You don't know how anything works. You don't even know the language of the environment. You have to learn everything all over again. Even your beliefs have to shift. So who are you now, attractive thinker, on the other side of this? Tichet, talk to us about when the dust settles after you come through the defining moment. It doesn't mean that you've healed. When a defining moment happens, it just happens. It's not waiting until you heal. It's not asking for your permission. It's not waiting for you to give it room or access in your life. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. We all know, right, that who you are when you were desiring all of these things, who you are on the journey of getting all these things, and who you are when you make it to the other side of all these things. We all hear that it's different. Why is it different? Because experience changed you. The wisdom and the knowledge that you gain during that time shifts you. It causes you to grow. Like you said, it's impossible for us to stay the same because our desires, believe it or not, might change as we go. Some of us might realize that what we are desiring now is just a stepping stone to what we actually become in when we get to the other side. Because the other side, there is more and higher than what we think and higher than what we have been planning. There's always more. So when we're wanting and desiring things, that's a foundation, but that's just the start of it. On the other side, there is much more to life. There's so many grand things. There's all your whys being manifested, all the reasons why you're doing it. And what I mean by that is you'll see why everything had to happen the way that it did, and you'll become at peace with some of the things that you've had to go through. While we're going through the break, we might not understand, what's the reason for this, or why did I have to lose that, or why did I have to deal with this, or come upon that. You never recognize why you had to go through stuff. But when you're on the other side and you look back, because again, we only look back for the lesson or the blessing. When you look back, you can see just how all of your pain, all of that break played a part, a significant part to who you are on the other side. And who you are on the other side is much wiser, is more abundant. And when I mean more abundance, abundance of peace, abundance of joy, but you also still have challenges, yes, but you also know that you are equipped for those challenges. You know that no matter what comes to you, you know how to fight. You know how to stand up for it. You know how to defend it. So when you're on the other side, you get to look at things like how if you go to high school, you look at elementary and you see how them teaching you how to learn basic stuff adds to the things that you're doing now. Like that's kind of how it is. How you do anything is how you do everything. That's how it is with life. When you're learning things on a basic level of wanting, when you get to the point of receiving or manifesting, you realize that all the things that was on that level of wanting is there because it was a stepping stone to get you to understand this part up here, because you had to first learn some of the things. You had to learn who you are and who you are not. Sometimes, even Dr. Tony, even though we're going through the break and on the other side, sometimes it might start to who you are not. You know that you are not captured. You know that you are free, right? You don't want people to walk all over you. You're not somebody's pushover. You're not somebody's doll or puppet. So you know you are free and you are in full control of your life. So there's a lot of things that changes in the midst of the journey past the break. So much so that right before we went through the break versus where we are after we get to beyond the break. That's like two different people, yet the same. So who we are in our hearts, the same, but it's grown. It's like the seed of a flower is still a seed, it's still a flower. But once you get to the other side, you are a full bloom flower, but you always was that seed. That seed had all of your potential in there. Now, while you're going through that, the breaking part and going through the break, the seed that you once were had to shift and transition, and it had to crack, it had to grow down and get rooted before it came up. It had to go through a lot of different processes before it became full bloom. But once you're full bloom, the beauty of it all is what stands out. The beauty of the whole process is what stands out, and then you get to live fully in your heart's desire. Back to you, Dr. Tony.
So true, Tichet. It's a couple of things that you said that I want attractive thinkers to really capture. And what you were talking about was leading up to this balance in identity, so to speak. When a defining moment happens, because you were talking about you are two people, throughout this process after the break, a defining moment, a break in a success, like you've had this huge success in your life, you've accomplished the book launch, and you've accomplished the business, it's open and it's running and successful, or you've had the live event and it's successful, or whatever it is that you do as an entrepreneur. Once you've reached that level of success, and things subside after it's over, after your book signing, after the live event, after you've launched your business and everything is running smoothly, you feel there is a void. You feel a sense of, you feel that something that you used to have, you no longer have, or something is missing, so to speak. You feel the emptiness, that space. Because when you are working on a goal, attractive thinker, and you're reaching a level of success, you're all in, you're focused, you're not sleeping, you're on your feet, you get up on time, you're on a schedule, you make things happen. So you are alive and you are awake and fully conscious. After you reach that level of success, sometimes we feel like we don't have to put in as much energy as we had to get to where we are, because that's why we did that episode a couple of weeks ago. You fought for it, now defend it. So you fought for this success, you climbed that mountain, you got all the way up there. Now you have to defend it. You can't let your guard down. But in the process of reaching that success, after you've reached that success, there is an emptiness there. There is, because as an attractive thinker, the first thing you're going to think, okay, now what next? What am I working on next? What can I dive into next? What do I need to accomplish next? Because you feel that that energy has shifted. That energy is a power. When you are accomplishing something and reaching a goal in your life, you have stepped into a power, and power is the ability to do things that are not humanly possible. So when you accomplish that goal and you've been accomplishing it in that power, when that power lifts or you step out of that power, you feel that. That is a significant difference, and it is undeniable. You cannot deny the fact that that power, you step into the power or you step out of it, or the power engulfed you or it left you. It moved. Whatever happened, whatever took place there, you were in an energy. I've seen it so many times with attractive thinkers, Tichet, especially new and aspiring entrepreneurs. It's an energy. Success is an energy. Okay, we say success is a mindset, and it is. Success is also an energy. Have you ever stepped into the energy of success and you're willing and dealing? You can get things done and you're making things happen. You're checking things off your list and you're really accomplishing. And have you ever experienced not being in that energy, and how you're slow and you're dragging and you're trying to get out? You're trying to remember why you should get out the bed. Think about that. You're trying to remember your why. You're trying to remember why this counts or why this matters. It's because that power is real. That power, attractive thinker, I want you to write that down. Power is real. And when you step into the energy of accomplishment, when you step into the energy of success, you feel that energy. It makes you come alive. You feel empowered like a superhero, like you can accomplish the world. So when that energy is not present, it makes a difference. You can feel the difference. When you say when we talk about who am I now on the other side of this, Tichet, you talked about two different people. So you're leaving one being, you're leaving who you used to be. You're not fully who you're going to be. So how do you live in the gap? How do you live in that break? How do you function? Do you retreat and try to go back? Let me share something with you. When a defining moment happens in your life, it's involuntary. There is no back to go back to, because you were forced forward. I could see if it was a voluntary defining moment, meaning you voluntarily said, I want to change and transform my life. You voluntarily said, I want to write this book or start this business. If you voluntarily did it, you can voluntarily stop it and end it and go back to who you used to be. But a defining moment doesn't play games. An involuntary defining moment doesn't play games. It happens, it shifts your world, and it closes all doors back to the old self. There is no old you to go back to. Now, with that said, we have to get to a place in our defining moment where we accept where we are. We have to accept that we're not where we used to be anymore, and that we can't go back. There is no doorway back there. There is no way to go back. No matter how hard we try, that life is over. And we have to accept that. And when we accept that, then your healing begins. You can't even start healing until you accept the fact that this did happen, or this, I did experience that, or this didn't work out, or this is over. You can't even begin to heal until you accept that. Because if you're not accepting it, you're using your daily energy and your being to do the shoulda, woulda, coulda game. Play the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. and your mind takes you in a spiral. It's like a whirlwind of shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and you just keep trying to figure that out. Well, if I shoulda, maybe I shoulda, or if I coulda, or if I woulda, and I understand that it happens to the best of us in the beginning of a defining moment. So you have to get over the shoulda, coulda, woulda game so you can start healing. Once you get over the shoulda, coulda, woulda game, you start accepting. You say, well, I guess there was nothing that I could do, or I guess even if I did do that, there's no guarantee that that would have changed anything, or I guess this is the way it is. And you roll your sleeves up and you sit there and you say, well, I guess I'll figure out how I'm supposed to live like this, or what's this all about, or I got to learn everything all over again. And you decide to do that one step at a time, living life beyond the break. Because attractive thinkers don't break down, we break up. We develop ourselves and we go forward and we find the good in it. We seek and we search and we try to find something that we can use, something that we can hold on to, something that would keep us from drowning, something that will keep us from going under. This is the attractive thinker mindset. This is what we do. That's the first thing that happens when we feel like we could feel our energy leaving, or we feel like the floor has been snatched from under us, or we feel like we're in a new place and we can't recognize it. The first thing we think about is, what can I hold on to so that I don't go under? Because you know why you would do that? You know why your first thought is, what can I hold on to so I won't go under? Is because you already know your value. When we go through defining moments, we've outgrown that. We don't second guess and say, well, maybe I'm nothing, or maybe I'm not worthy. I'm just a piece of trash, or nothing good was going to come my way anyway. That is not even in our experience anymore. We've advanced and we've elevated and we've graduated from that low level of thinking about ourselves. We know that we're valuable when the sun is shining, and we're valuable when it's raining. We're valuable when the waves are high and when the waves of life are low. Our value is not on the table. It's not at question here just because we're going through a break. So look for something that you can hold on to, because it might float right past you in the water, because it's there. All you have to do, see, attractive thinkers, we already have the mind and the will to survive. We have the mind and the will to overcome this. We automatically know, as bad as it hurts, and sometimes wiping through my tears, I was talking to myself, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, it hurts. I know, but you're better than this, and you're gonna be fine. I was talking to myself through a break, through a defining moment, because I knew already who I was. And attractive thinkers just have this tenacity about us. We're just not going down like that. You're just not going to walk up on us and take us down like that, because we understand our worth and our value. We know we have a lot to do and a lot to accomplish and a lot to enjoy in this life. We've already been through the fire, the flood, and the rain, and the hills and the valleys and the mountains. So we learned some things as a result of that. We didn't just come that way for nothing. We learned fortitude, and we learned our strength, and we learned our tenacity, and we learned our commitment, and we understood our power, and we realized that what we say happens, and we understood the power in our hands. What we touch turns to gold, and we understood the energy and the favor on our lives, that whatsoever we do it shall prosper. We already had that in grade school. We already graduated from that. So when we enter into a break, we step into our strength and we look, what can I hold on to? What am I swimming past? What's floating past me that can anchor me and keep me from going under? And as long as you don't go under, you're fantastic and amazing. You're going to make it to the shore. And when you make it to the shore and you take that deep breath, the first thing you're going to think is, it is a great day to be alive. Back to you, Tichet. It is a great day to be
It is.
alive.
You said so many things. I wanted to run around and run around in here. You
Yes.
want me to send an offering.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you said that I didn't want to get past was, sometimes our break is stepping into our strength.
Yeah.
That's a why that I don't want anybody to overlook, because we're not going through stuff for nothing, like you said, right? But when you understand that all of it is because you're the break period is because you're stepping into something, it takes away the pain a little bit. And then you talked about that void, right? So when that void is there, that void is there so that we can put new things in there. So when we're on the other side, that what's next is to create, not recreate. And the difference between create and not recreate. So the difference is when you're recreating, when that void is there, you're looking for the old stuff, you're looking for the old ways, and you're recreating the old way, right? But when you're in creation, you know that you're new. You're taking it moment by moment, understanding you're stepping into newness. You're learning new things. You're trying out different things. You're not thinking about failure and success because you know everything that you do is success, right? And
Mhm.
you know that when you try something, if it doesn't work according to the way you are, you can try other stuff. So you're not so caught up in the pain of
Mhm.
this didn't work out that way or that didn't work out that way. A lot of our pain that we consumed was in worrying and in regret. And it's in wanting a different outcome than we did, but that outcome brought you to who you're supposed to be. The
Mhm.
outcome that you had brought you to who you're supposed to be. You went through that so that you can become a movement in yourself.
Mhm.
And so when we were going through the break, we didn't realize we were becoming because we were so confused and consumed with the pain of the break. But as attractive thinkers, we know that this is for something, and you start to grab at it, and then you get the courage to just stand up. Some people is not even, some people has to find something to hold on to, yes, but a lot of us, all we need the courage is to stand up. When
Mhm.
you got the courage to stand up and walk,
Mhm.
then you know that
Mhm.
you can walk into places that most people wouldn't dare try to go. You will walk into places you have never seen. You will walk into places that has more access to wisdom, more gifts that is exposed, more joy, more love, more communication, more relationships, strong relationship. It has a whole new world waiting for you if you get the courage to stand up and walk. Some of us, we have been at this shore for a minute. All it takes for us to stand and just walk. That's it. And then while we're standing and walk, like you said, we're not going to keep looking back and recreating the old thing. We look back for a lesson or a blessing, right? When we move forward and we're walking, we're taking all of our lessons and our blessings with us. That's it. We're shutting the door of the pain. We're shutting the door of the anger. We're shutting the door of the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and the regrets. We're shutting the door of all of that, and we're carrying the lessons and the blessings. We're carrying the I made it. We're carrying the this helped me get here. This made me more awake. This helped me build consciousness. This helped me to understand and guard my heart, because out of it are the issues of life. This showed me that I needed to protect myself. This showed me that I needed to be to be awake and aware of everything around me. This journey showed me that when I get to where I am, I'm going to need to understand energy. I'm going to need to understand how to maneuver through energy. I'm going to need to understand how to create new energy. I'm going to need to understand how energy works so that I know how to move inside of it. Because when you understand that everything is energy, you're not going to just give your currency away to everybody. And what do I mean by currency? Our energy and our time and our money are valuable currency, right? Because you're giving away your time and energy, meanwhile they're giving you money, right? When you do a 9 to 5. But yet that says that your time and energy is, if you take your time and your energy and that's multiplied, do you know how much more wealth you'll have in time, how much more you'll have wealth you'll have in energy, when you're not giving it away to people who can't multiply it, or when you're not giving it away to people who don't know what to do with it, or people who know how to sap your energy is the most valuable thing that you could pay attention to, that you have. It is your most valuable currency, because when you don't have energy, what can you create? When you don't have energy, what business can you run? When you don't have energy, how can you get up and walk anywhere? We talking about getting up the courage to walk. When you have energy, when you don't have energy, how can you even think about the courage to walk? So when we're protective of our energy, like we're protective of our money, then we understand that we leave room for us to grow, because we need energy to grow. We can't sit there and keep and think that we have a new life with the old energy and keep recreating the same thing. We're creating in our energy first, and then it manifests in the physical. What you go through in the physical is a mirror of what's going on in the spirit. So the question is, what's going on in the spirit? And that means we're transferring to the other side. And when we're transferring to the other side, physical, what energy needs to be there in order for you to sustain the life that you created? In order for you to sustain the what next, what energy needs to be there? We can't sustain that type of life if we're holding on to the life that recreated the other life. I'm holding on to the energy that recreated the other life. We close the door to that. So it's going to take a whole newness of life, a newness of energy, a newness of wisdom, a newness of thoughts, a newness of habits. It's going to take a newness of language. You're going to have a diet of positive energy. That means you can't eat with everybody. You can't eat the words of everybody. You can't eat the time and the energy of everybody. You have to be protective of what you take into any of your gates, your eye gate, your ear gate, your mouth gate. You have to be present and under and aware of what you take in. Because some people don't have to say a word to transfer you their energy. And sometimes it's them walking in the room. And when you are aware of that, you know that you don't have to partake in negative energy. You do whatever's necessary for you to get the courage to stand up and walk and keep moving. So once we understand that, what's next is we create. What's next is that we go moment to moment, always creating better, looking for something new, something we haven't seen before, being history in the making, living legendary lives, walking through avenues we never seen, pathfinding, trailblazing. We just keep pathfinding and we keep trailblazing. Does it always have to be hard? No, it can be enjoyable. It should be enjoyable. Once you understand who you are, your life should be enjoyable. You should have more joy than you do pain. Does it mean you don't go through issues? No, we're going to go through issues, but we're not going to let it steal our joy. We don't let anybody steal our joy. Our joy is what we had to help us keep the energy in order to get where we are. And where we are is the greatest place to be. Wherever you stand is the greatest place to be. So we have to enjoy it and allow ourselves to keep creating greatness, level after level after level after level. Back to you, Dr. Tony.
So fantastic and amazing. I was writing away. I had to turn the page and keep writing. Attractive thinkers, this is what I want to share. To share, thank you so much for that. You gave me a lot to talk about right now, because when we talk about who am I now after this is who you are now. Energy. Paying attention to your energy. Pay attention to how you feel. Who are you now after this? You're awake and you're conscious and you're paying attention, like Tichet said, to how you're spending your currency, which is your time, your energy, your money, and your power. Power is an energy. Your words have power. How are you spending your mouth? How are you spending what is coming out of your mouth? That power. How are you spending? Your actions have power. What are you doing with your hands? How are you spending that energy? Your thoughts have power. How are you spending that energy? Your beliefs have power. Your associations and how you socialize. How are you making that transaction when you socialize with someone? Are you transacting with someone on high energy levels or low energy levels? Because you're getting an exchange. You're exchanging something. and you're getting something in return. My question to you, attractive thinker, is this: how can you have an abundant experience if you're not hanging around abundant energy? I want you to think about that. If everything is energy and you're seeking to know who you are now on the other side of this, if you're in the middle of a break, if you just experienced a break, a heartbreak, or a break in a success, the number one thing that should be at the forefront of your mind is your heart, guarding your heart, because it is wide open during a break. Your heart is vulnerable, it's exposed. Some things have slipped out, spilled out. Your confidence and courage is all over the floor, and your heart is now accessible. So you have to guard your energy in your environment. If your heart is open and accessible in the operating room, when the doctor's doing open heart surgery, he doesn't have everybody in that room. I don't care how much your family and Pookie and them love you, they can't come in there when the doctor's doing open heart surgery. Only certain people, certain qualified people can be in the room when your heart is exposed. Did you hear that, attractive thinker? When your heart is exposed in a break, only certain people should be allowed into your space so that you can heal properly, so that you can gather what was lost, pick your confidence up off the floor and your courage that flew out the window. Think about that. And with the right people around you, they'll help you capture. They'll say, hold it, wait a minute, you forgot. Before you close your heart, you forgot your confidence. Before you close your heart, here's your faith. Make sure you don't leave your faith on the floor. Think about that, attractive thinker. Tichet, you said some fantastic and amazing things. Attractive thinkers, if you are to excel throughout your break, your energy has to be your number one focus, because you can expedite this entire process, paying attention to yourself, allowing yourself to heal. Sometimes it's not what you do. You don't have to do anything. It's who you be. Guard yourself, set up those guards. Have somebody I've had that experience. Someone recently lost someone. It was a family member of mine, and they had someone in the home to answer the calls for them. And I'm telling you, some people are forceful. They would try their best to get through their phone. But if you have someone guarding your energy, they answer the phone for you, they take the message, and then it allows you to get back to the person when you feel better, when you feel free enough and healed enough to talk to someone. You have to put up guards, attractive thinker, because energy is everything. Energy is everything that you do. Everything that you're going to do today is based on your energy. Attractive thinkers, I trust that you have gathered some fantastic and amazing gems from this episode, because I most certainly did. I want you to click that like button, post some comments below this video so Tichet and I can respond and reply and create some new topics for you to grow through and heal from. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss another episode, because you never know what we're going to do. We have some surprises coming up, and we're going to twist some things a little bit, but you don't want to miss anything from Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Tichet, tell our audience how they can stay in touch with you, the visual encourager.
Absolutely. You can find me on my website at www.visualencouragement.com. We provide mental support for movers and shakers, groundbreakers, trailblazers, and pathfinders, people who desire to move mountains but just need help lifting the heaviness so that they can create a new vision for themselves. Go to my contact us page, put in your website, let me know how I can uplift you, enlighten you, and encourage you so that you can live a life of fulfillment beyond the break. Again, www.visualencouragement.com. See you soon.
Awesome. Attractive thinkers, you hear us say it all the time. Our life's work, that's to make your life better. Remember, it is not what you're going through, it's how you're doing it. Think attractively, and we'll see you soon.